welcome to the episode where we win the game.
This quick, huh?
Yeah, that was quick.
You're gonna win it.
Yep. So, be prepared for a 6-hour episode.
Oh, God. Alrighty.
Decisive evidence. What's this new decisive evidence that's coming in? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe.
What?
Did I not bring this up?
Oh my God, I hate this woman.
2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
What? There was blood found on that shoe?
Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs.
This is actually annoying. The constant lunch thing is annoying.
What's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Sample, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright?
Seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating.
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright?
Seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen.
You could at least study some evidence law, really.
The prosecution's complaints. Notwithstanding is one word?
Yeah.
Notwithstanding?
Yeah, notwithstanding.
That's legit one word?
That is one word.
No dashes?
No dashes. It's okay, Mac. I know English is your second language.
Yeah, I miss Denmark.
Yeah, the first one is incompetence.
It appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged.
Victim shoe, white enamel shoe, bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Sky.
How is that, like, perfect?
The shoe.
There was no variation there.
What was that? We're the same person, actually.
Very well, Mr. Wright. You may examine the witness.
He shoots off fireworks every time he says that.
I'm tired of this lady, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like her.
I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene.
You're an idiot. Hold it.
Why did you lie about those 5 minutes?
I guess you can say I just wanted people to look at the results.
The results?
How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, avenged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book.
This one the suspect is admitting she did it.
But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Mr. Let's just get this over with.
Oh, my bad. Do me a favor, look at the shoe. You can examine the shoe in the fancy 3D model.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Oh. Whoa, it's dark in there.
Ooh! What secrets are in here? It's blood. It's my sister's, right?
It appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime.
Poor sis.
Wait, so whose shoe is this?
This is Goodman's shoe, the victim. Ah! There's blood here too!
On the sole of the shoe, it's gotta be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood.
All this blood. It's horrible.
This blood might be an important clue.
Alright. I think that's all you can examine. So you can press circle to head out. Get out of there. It's like an infomercial. This shoe.
Order right now for $19.99. Order now and get a free pair of socks, all at the value of $39.99 for the low price of $19.99.
This shoe was taken off the feet of Vanessa Kirby. Here's the footage right now.
Vanessa Kirby. What? That was so random. Vanessa Kirby.
I try to think of an attractive female.
She is an attractive female.
Yeah.
Find the real pieces of a woman.
In this shoe. Okay. Now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up?
And you found the shoe at the scene of the crime!
I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon, if that should help him. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen.
I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really.
In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime! Hooty, hooty, hooty. Now tell us what you did next.
2 types of blood were found in his shoe. One was, of course, the victim's.
So you brought it to the forensics department.
If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert.
She got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective.
This shoe does appear to have blood stains on it.
Well, the man was stabbed after all.
And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman.
As I said, there were 2 types of blood found in the shoe.
B.
And the other blood type
And
matched
B.
that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky.
You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test.
You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie.
Huh?
Well, speak up.
Well, blood comes in 4 types. A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood.
That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright.
Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there. Which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Also right here.
That's pretty specific.
If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone's but Miss Lana Sky's.
So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe?
That ties it directly to the death of Detective Goodman.
I was afraid he was gonna say that.
The shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
Can't let this evidence go through without a fight.
You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like a client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. So right. Do you or don't you have a problem with the shoe?
A problem? This is critical! Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? Oh god. I don't think there is a problem. Is there a problem?
Or you can look at the shoe. Again, if you want.
I mean, I looked at it, I don't... Well, here's my thing. If the victim... we're led to believe the victim was stabbed while in the trunk?
Yeah, he was in the trunk when he was stabbed.
So how could he have stepped in a puddle of his own blood? Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
To a novice.
If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there is one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction!
That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence.
What's this? I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe.
Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe.
Oh, indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe.
It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about a blood on the bottom of his shoe?
Well... I mean...
You can look at the photo if you want.
Okay, well... The problem lies in the footprint.
The footprint?
Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime?
Aha!
As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe!
Even though I didn't even use my inhaler. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints.
Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort!
Yes, we thought.
Order! 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 Well, witness!
What? Huh? We're going, Mr. Wright. But it's true that the lack of the footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint.
Oh,
That's true! There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint!
Think, Mr. Wright. Think.
hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions.
What? I see. Now I get it.
Get what?
Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There was one vital hint to the truth in her testimony.
What are you talking about?
Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. Chief Prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Ugh. I thought that it was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do.
No kidding.
Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that? I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
Witness, well, what is it, an empty oil drum?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water.
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 Water. What does that mean?
Still don't get it, Mr. Wright. Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason!
You don't mean...
Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would have become evidence against her!
That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs.
Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty. Erasing evidence.
That reminds me. This guy's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him?
So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe?
Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial.
Mr. Wright, do something, please!
What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime, and she tried to conceal it.
But... Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor.
Very well.
But Angel Story's on the prosecution side. She couldn't have been lying about the water. She could have been lying. Shit.
You said it right.
No, I didn't.
This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky.
Took a while.
Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution side? Well, yeah, you are. You were saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox? A lunchbox called evidence.
Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else.
The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you'll be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this!
A photograph.
I had it just in case someone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
That's right. Wait, look at the asphalt in this photo.
Hey, it's clearly wet.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all.
It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Who's speaking? Oh, it's Mia.
Showed her.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Right. Wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Your Honor, wait!
What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait?
No, it can't. Then it'll be too late. Look at this photograph. Every time it makes me laugh.
Look at that photograph.
The last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration.
So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence?
Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this.
I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem in this photograph.
The problem is...
What's the problem? Hey, what's the big idea, pal?
So knife, right side, right
Yep.
hand. Conclusive.
Yep.
Shoe, right shoe.
Yep.
Also conclusive.
Yep.
What the hell is that?
What is that?
What the hell is that?
It looks like the exhaust pipe and something's in it. It looks like something's in it.
Yeah, you're damn right it looks like something's in it.
So what are you doing? Looking quite intensely at this.
I'm gonna click it.
You gonna click it?
I'm gonna fucking click it.
Oh, please don't click it.
Don't click it?
Don't click it. No, please don't. Don't click it. No. Ah, okay, you can click it. Did you miss?
The problem in this photograph is here!
What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler.
Muffler! Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor?
You just said muffler! However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph.
A muffler is also a part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system. A pipe.
I see, and I see. What's that suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler?
So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sorry, Miss Star, but it's not gonna be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why it's important to the case. You said as much in your testimony!
What?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright had on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case.
Cloth.
Yep. This piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case. Why this piece of cloth and the muffler is related to this case? Why this piece of cloth and the muffler is related to this case? Why the piece of cloth and the muffler is a important piece of the case?
No, I get it. I'm on the evidence.
Why do you think this piece of evidence, piece of cloth and the muffler is related to this case?
They said muffler on the phone.
Why do you think this piece of cloth and the muffler is related to this case?
I think The piece of cloth and the muffler is related to this case because
Oh, fucking present it. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about this show. I don't give a shit about anything.
Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court.
Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler! Yeah! Yeah!
Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence!
Well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings.
Suspend?
I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed?
I suppose so.
Oh, that was close. But we made it. At least for now.
This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all.
He's still hungry.
We'll keep on going because the section after this is quite short.
All right.
Alright. Worst part of the case is over.
The worst part?
That's the worst part. That's about what everybody thinks is the worst part.
It's awful.
Is that she has so many testimonies.
It's too many.
That was like 5 testimonies.
And she's so uninteresting. And she's just annoying. She's very annoying. The whole lunch thing is so annoying.
It goes a little bit up now. Mr. Wright?
Huh? What?
Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface? But no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there?
Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway?
Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers.
Probably something to do with that piece of cloth.
So, this is where we turn the trial around, right? Only weapon, tiny insignificant piece of cloth.
I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth.
Huh?
Hola, partner. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a youngin', at least.
Officer Marshall.
Thought I'd come take a look, see how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory.
That's hard to slip out, huh? What's going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge.
Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the cheap prosecutors tasting mufflers, for example.
Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. Wasn't even wearing a scarf.
You don't say. Now don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. She's wearing a red muffler.
What?
At the award ceremony that afternoon, it's worth seeing it too, I'd reckon.
What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf.
So I wasn't mistaken.
Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell.
I have a bad feeling about this.
So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright?
If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee!
I'd like to resume.
What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Jesus Christ.
Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused, you're doubled over, your back is bent.
It can't be! This can't happen! Wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth.
Well then, I believe it is time we continued on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation.
This is not acceptable!
It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself.
Excuse me. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Oh, Jesus Christ. What's with this guy? A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the court. This doesn't even look human. This guy doesn't look human. Ugh.
You recognize this song?
Do I recognize it?
This is the Wake the Fuck Up song.
Wake the fuck up song.
Yeah. When you poured water all over me. In the dumpster diving episode. And yelled, "Wake the fuck up." This is the song that plays.
Wake the fuck up! Wake the fuck up! It's been 3 fucking months! What the fuck are you doing? Game? This is my fucking property! I don't give a fuck about your property! Oh my god, what do you mean? You're supposed to play shitty games and make your brain fucking melt, and you're over here sleeping for 3 fucking months doing jack shit! It's fucking snowing out there! Yeah, that's how long you've been sitting there with your thumb up your ass, not playing games! I mean, just play the one game! Fat. You fuck!
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in.
Who on earth is he? Looks like a bald eagle.
Ah, it's you!
Oh. Sorry I'm late, Audrey. The roads were packed. It's just me. It's long time no see, Audrey. How you been? Swim much these days?
Ah, hello! No, I've been so busy.
Busy, smidgy, Audrey. My boy, you have to make time to relax.
Yes, indeed.
Audrey seems to be his nickname for the judge.
I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. I'm sorry, but who are you?
Haha! So you're Vito, the attorney. I've heard good things about your son.
Thanks.
So sorry about a little Worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know we should all go swimming together sometime, jolly.
Little Worthy.
Mr. Wright! You don't know the district chief of police?
Chief of police?
He's the top-ranking police officer of the entire district!
Oh, he's terrifying. He's actually horrifying.
Name's Gunt. Damon Gunt. Pleased to meet you, everyone.
Damon Gant.
Yep.
Damon Gant. I'm trying to see what that means. Damon Gant. Damon Gant. Damon can't. The man can't. The man can't. The man can't.
Actually, I have no idea.
You really don't know?
No.
There isn't a play on?
Not that I know of.
Damon Gant. Among. Among is in the middle. D&T. Among D&T. Among D&T. Demungant. What does it mean?
I don't know.
Damon Gant.
We'll get let's not look too far into things.
I like to.
So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this corner room, hasn't it?
Well, it's worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this.
Hey, that's...
My sister's muffler.
So Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, this guy really was wearing that muffler.
But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. On little Worthy's car, no less. It's really quite embarrassing, even for us.
What's this?
It's what you call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running?
Mr. Edgeworth!
How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If you're investigators or this locks, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Oh, didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says, person in charge of investigation. There's no mistake in that signature, is there? Miles Edgeworth? That's not fair! On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words.
This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Duh.
The court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first.
Yes?
Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife.
The blade, Your Honor. Well, I don't see why not.
Could you open it up for me, I wonder?
Yes, well, I think, all you have to do is push that switch and,
If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore.
Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore.
Come on, just hurry up and open it.
Oh, shit.
Ah,
Whoa.
yeah, it's going by automatically when it's requiring you to do this.
Oh. Oh, weird.
Yeah, look at stuff.
I'm gonna press this button. Whoa!
Ah! Don't scare me like that!
I'm the one who's scared.
Look at its knife blade. The tip is broken off.
And this dark red stain. Blood.
Switchblade knife found at the crime scene, wrapped in the defendant's muffler, small tag attached. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself.
I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify
I'm gonna need
first?
you to look at the knife again. There's one detail you missed.
I missed.
Yeah.
You mean this?
It's a small tag on the knife.
Says SL92.
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm not sure, but it reminds me of a similar code. DL6. Maybe it's a case number.
That's weird.
What?
I don't remember where. I think I've seen something like this before. Something similar to what's written on this tag. Wasn't that long ago either.
Maybe I should check the court record again.
Alright, that's all I wanted you to see.
I see it.
Mm.
It's upside down. It's actually 2/21, which is the date, February 21st of the murder, SL9. Upside down.
Let's not care about that right now.
Okay.
About the split between the prosecutors and the police, and this knife.
Sure thing. Not a problem. Not even a little one, really. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove the connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. The detective was killed at the police department scene. What a mess. The time of crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this case here, so I can't talk much about it.
There was a murder at the police department. A detective.
That's hush-hush information, RG. We haven't exactly announced it yet. But wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top-secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay?
I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright?
2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places?
Chances of that are really slim. Scientifically speaking, of course.
I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness.
Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand.
It's nice and special, but I can't say how here.
Excuse me. Special?
Can't come by this particular knife anywhere else.
Might that special thing be this little tag?
Oh, sorry, Vito, but I can't say that. No, not that. We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime?
That's quite a mystery.
And not like a mystery, it's wrapped in something. A muffler. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman.
This knife was found on the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you?
See, there's a lot of things that go on at the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Vito. Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue? Let's examine that knife while we can, Vito. Yeah, what he did. You gotta fucking read the line, you dumbass!
Oh my god, what was I thinking?
I have to go.
You said you already did, and then my mind was just like, okay, skip past it.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta go back to see what you said.
Damn it.
Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman.
Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that's had me stumped all this time.
So how are things down at the department? You can present the evidence if you want right now.
This meant stumping?
Yeah. Not right now, not for this statement, for the previous statement, because that's the statement that Wright said that. This is evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. Oh!
Wait a second.
Oh, I lost an honest to goodness objection.
This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman.
What do you mean?
Aha! Honest to goodness, what do you mean from Dodgy? This is great!
Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92.
And this is important. Why?
Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim.
What's this? 6 minus 7s 12 slash 2
Divided by 2.
12 divided by 2.
Your Honor, it's upside down.
Upside.
The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But if you turn it around, what do you get?
Aha!
2 divided by 21. SL minus 9. Ah!
Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down.
I'm not good at algebra.
SL minus 9. That's the same thing that is written on the knife's tag. Order! Well, Chief?
Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Whiteo?
I win. What game is this guy playing?
This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room.
So this knife was stolen.
Yes, but only on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say? Was it in fact a murder weapon? Nice. Good show, little Worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved.
So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder. And it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edward's car.
Hard to think there isn't a connection there. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation.
Something happened at the police department too, huh?
You got a good look in your eyes there, Vito, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So something did happen. And why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy, what with Lana's case and all.
Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day?
Detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess.
On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department?
That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, G?
I'm at a loss for words.
And the perpetrator? You have a suspect. Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact.
Just arrested? That was quick.
But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Vito.
I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case.
Ooh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only.
Ooh. Where? Oh, okay.
Well, we know some of this stuff.
Well, yeah, we already know, right? So, we don't know how they were killed, right?
No, we don't know how to.
We know they were found at the police department.
Yes.
And we know it's the same time as the other murder.
Yes.
So this. Well, how was the detective killed?
How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It was what we found in the force. It's what we in the force call a stabbing with a knife.
A knife?
That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit we're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same.
What do you mean?
There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death.
Seems like I'm gonna have to press this a bit harder.
Actually, go ahead and press that statement one more time. The other statement. Yeah.
This one?
Yes.
On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed in the police department?
Yeah. That's a fact. Surprising. It's an analogy.
I'm at a loss for words.
And the perpetrator. Do you have a suspect? Well, there was one suspect. Just arrested them, in fact.
Just arrested? That was quick.
But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you can help, Righto?
I suppose I could help, if you help me by giving me data on our case.
Oh, good one. This kid sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only.
What?
Yeah.
You gotta do it again?
No. The other, either one of the two.
Oh, okay. So tell me, where was the victim found?
Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department.
The evidence room? Wait a second, I have heard of that.
Evidence room? Didn't you mention that in his testimony just now? This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room.
There's a connection between the two cases.
You seem happy, Mr. Wright.
Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. The link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details.
It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it.
Chief. The defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven.
You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection?
Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright.
The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room.
Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag.
And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room.
Indeed. There too seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence.
You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all.
Can we get the information unofficially?
Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all.
What? Really?
I would have guessed. I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay?
If you're gonna tell us a little, why not tell us everything?
Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly.
Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. Does it really matter?
Yes, this actually matters. You won't take damage if you get the problem.
Okay, so the ID number is some information we have about
the other victim,
Yeah, we have Goodman's ID number.
Goodman's ID number. I don't see how the gender matters.
Okay.
The division. I guess if they were in the same division as Goodman,
I mean, he said that he was a detective.
he was a detective.
Yeah, he was a detective.
So we already know that.
Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number?
Hmm? Sure, why not? It sounds like you'll be able to tell who it is from that.
Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all.
We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189.
Well, that's quite long.
How do we have to remember these? It drives me nuts.
8, 2. I can't do it.
You didn't even get the first number right.
Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything?
The ID number of the victim at the police department. 5842189.
Oh yeah. Sure does.
Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does! I think...
Meaning?
It has to be what I think it is. What does this mean?
Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you?
Tells me this is a good man. High five for that one. Dude, that was a fucking amazing joke, dude.
Yeah, it's one of those like jokes where like I didn't laugh out loud because my brain laughed so hard.
Witness! Witness!
Your brain completely got destroyed for the amount of humor that was in the joke that your brain couldn't tell you your voice, your vocal cords to actually physically laugh. So that's
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. Well, that's weird.
No, it's just I got confused and...
And this is news. Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do.
The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here.
Oh, is it yours?
No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman.
Shame on you, Vito! Personnel IDs are top secret.
Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189.
And this means what exactly?
Huh?
Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier, that started with 82. I've forgotten.
You didn't even get the first number right. Again! The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189.
Wait a second, Vite! What is this?
Mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that?
Ho 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 ho! Shopper's attack, Vito! Shopper's attack!
But wait! Detective Goodman is our victim! He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot.
Yet Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room! At the exact same time!
That's impossible! So what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time? In a completely different location?
Chief! What does this mean?
No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine. But I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case! Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said, wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error? Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours.
What?
The fuck is What? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins? That's right. I've heard that name before. Wait. Aha! Excuse me, but Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him? According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on top of the report. God! Why didn't you officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error. A gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But sir! You could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence! Then No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy. What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law? Well, Mr. Wright?
Huh? Oh, well, it's,
Rule number 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list.
So what does this mean?
I couldn't submit this evidence until no connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Righto over there. Good job, Righto, my boy.
huh? I was just doing my job.
No. No!
It seems we have come to the end of this trial.
I know you're going through a rough time, Worthy, with all those rumors. You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part.
Mr. Edgeworth,
Please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. If it's the last thing I do. You had better get results this time. Really. You have my profound apologies, sir. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth.
I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake I hope it is not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned.
And that's where we're gonna end tonight's episode.
That's right, guys. Thank you for watching.
Oh.
Subscribe, tell a friend, click that bell.
Indeed.
Smash that dislike button, leave us a hate comment.
Do everything possible within your realm to harass us.
Harass me for, you know, some really... We had, you know some large... I had a large error, and I'm ashamed of it.
You should
I'm
be.
ashamed of it, but, you know...
Very much so.
Shit happens.
Anyway, bud.
Love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
God, that hurt. Went right on my nose. Oh, man.
Ah,
Why does it still hurt? It literally went right on my nose. Jesus Christ.
I want it to hurt.
Washed out my brain.
It's funny because when it hurts.
Oh, it's funny when it hurts.
Alright, take it.
Bye-bye.
Oh god. I gotta piss so bad.